Hello again, everyone, and welcome to this Friday Pegasus Eve preview show. Obviously, $16 million on the line. Two Grade 1 stakes here tomorrow afternoon on the 26th of January at Gulfstream Park. Jason Blewitt, Acacia, Courtney alongside. Are you ready for Pegasus weekend here?
Oh, I am ready. We've had so much build up to it. We've talked about the atmosphere this week at Gulfstream Park, as you see, getting ready for the entertainment, getting ready for the party, of course, getting ready for the biggest races in North America right here at our home track. So very special to be hosting it.
Well, glad you're here as well on this preview show. You've got it in the right place, and we'll cover a lot of ground, including a very special guest who will join us in that third and final segment, the one and only legendary rock star jockey and Frankie Dettori.
Oh yeah, Frankie has a couple of mounts on Saturday. He'll be riding the undefeated Mexican Kukulkan in the Pegasus World Cup Dirt, and then representing Jimmy Jerkins on Delta Prince in the turf race as well.
All right, so all things Pegasus here over the next few minutes as we dive and remind you, in case you're unaware or just want to take another look at what's on tap here on Saturday afternoon, the third running of the Pegasus Dirt worth $9 million. We've got a field of 12. In fact, a maxed out field in terms of stall space allotted in the starting gate. Most eyes, however, Acacia, to be fair, on the two respective Breeders' Cup winners in Accelerate and City of Light.
We have the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile winner in City of Light and the Breeders' Cup Classic winner in Accelerate, newly minted Eclipse Award Older Male as well. And I do think that that Accelerate has just done so much good with 4 Grade 1 wins coming into this race. He's got another test before he can retire.
But from what we've seen, and this will be his swan song, certainly bittersweet for John Sadler, and if you're a part of the Accelerate camp, but he didn't turn a hair here from sunrise Thursday morning. They schooled him in the starting gate. Later on, around the first race, in fact, they schooled him here in the paddock. What did you think getting your real, since Breeders' Cup time, your first up-close view of Accelerate in the flesh?
I was impressed with him, and getting a chance to see him really up close when he was paddock schooling. I thought that he really handled himself very professionally. He kind of, you could see his ears moving, and we saw that in his first trip on the track as well, just kind of taking everything in. But he shipped successfully so many times before. There were a lot of questions heading into the Breeders' Cup. Can he ship to Del Mar and win? Can he give John Sadler his first Breeders' Cup win? And he answered all of those questions. So he's shown that he can do it. I thought physically, he really was very impressive and on the muscle.
And John Sadler and Ronis Racing, and in fact, Ronis Racing, congratulations to them. They finished off at an Eclipse Award winning 2018 as champion owner, and Accelerate was a lock to be named champion older horse. Congrats to all the Eclipse winners. But they've got the 1-2 punch, not only having Accelerate in the $9 million dirt race, they've also got their catapult in the $7 million first running of the Pegasus Turf. Unprecedented purse money for a grass race in this country. 10 will line up in the starting gate, and this is a race, I think, first and foremost, what jumps off the page at me, Acacia, it is very much an international cast.
Very much. We have a couple of horses representing Japan. Aerolith coming from Japan to ship to the United States for the first time in the Japanese-bred Yoshida, your morning line favorite. We have an Irish runner in Magic Wand on the rail as well. So really excited about the international flair for both of these races, but especially the turf.
And a third consecutive Eclipse Award for trainer Chad Brown.
Yes.
I believe the voters got it right. Chad
I think so too.
had a monstrous 2018 with just about $28 million in purse money won. And will he begin 2019 not only owning a new Eclipse trophy, will he get the winner's share with his bricks and mortar in the $7 million purse? If there's one trainer in this country on the turf that could get a horse second off a near 450-day layoff to run the race of his life, it's going to be Chad with bricks and mortar.
I would certainly think so. And he also has newly minted Eclipse Award champion jockey Arad Ortiz in the saddle too. So this is a very powerful duo coming in. And I also, as we see bricks and mortar working, he's been working very forwardly in his breezes. He paddock schooled with his stablemate Pattern Recognition, who will be in the Pegasus World Cup Dirt. In my opinion, bricks and mortar was the major standout of that pair.
He was on his toes. Boy, did he look ready to run the race of his life here late Saturday afternoon. The neat thing with that, though, and what makes it such a compelling test for everybody is bricks and mortar could give you the race of his life, and it looks like he's about to do that, but he could finish 3rd or 4th in the race. It's that good of a field, led by, of course, the Japanese bred, but a U.S. horse in Yoshida.
Absolutely. One of 2 in there for trainer Bill Mott, who does also have Channel Maker, a competitive field, a great betting race, and as we said, a real international flavor to it.
All right, we'll take a little time out. We're just getting warmed up. A little Eclipse recap, some more Pegasus chatter, and a whole lot coming your way here on our preview show.
One of the world's most anticipated thoroughbred racing events of the year returns. The 3rd annual Pegasus World Cup Invitational at Gulfstream Park in South Florida. Drawing competition from around the world with a $16 million purse split between 2 Grade 1 races. On the dirt and on the turf. Experience the incredible fashion, spectacular world-class service and entertainment, and the unrivaled adrenaline of the Pegasus World Cup Invitational. Saturday, January 26th at Gulfstream Park. Get your tickets now at PegasusWorldCup.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our Friday Pegasus preview show from our clubhouse studios at Gulfstream Park. Happy to be joined by Tom Law, managing editor of the Saratoga Special, and this is horseracing.com. That's where you can find Tom. And so, you're in Florida. How's the weather so far?
Great to be here. Last Saturday and Sunday in Saratoga, 2 feet of snow. Oof. So the whole time I'm shoveling out, I'm thinking, I'm going to Florida Wednesday. I'm going to Florida Wednesday.
That was the finish line.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Now, we're a day out, obviously, from the 3rd running of the Pegasus, but last night, of course, I mean, the conversation on everybody's minds today, what happened last night at the Eclipse Awards. The way you look at it, you vote, obviously. Any surprises?
No, I didn't really think there were hardly any surprises. I think the voters pretty much got everything right. You know, and by right, I mean the right horses, the right people were awarded Eclipse Awards last night. You know, the Horse of the Year vote came out to be pretty lopsided. You and I were just talking a little bit off the air. Justify over Accelerate by a pretty wide margin, 191 votes to 54.
Right.
Which was, you know, the way you heard people talk was that, oh, Accelerate versus Justify, but to come out that big of a spread, I thought was pretty authoritative, and rightfully so. I mean, the Triple Crown pretty much trumps all.
And what he was able to accomplish. I mean, not only sweeping the Triple Crown, he was a Grade 1 winner out in California in the Santa Anita Derby, and the fact that he just went unbeaten and didn't debut until his 3-year-old season. We will never see another campaign like the tour de force that Justify was. It was almost, in hindsight, like he was dropped here by extraterrestrials and wasn't like a part of this universe with what he was able to do.
Absolutely. It was amazing. I mean, to think about unraced in mid-February to winning the Triple Crown in, you know, early June. Just amazing. And a lot of people forget, you know, like Santa Anita Derby in like his, 3rd start?
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty amazing to win a Grade 1 like that. You know, like you see horses that are maybe 2-year-olds go from that maiden win to the Grade 1 win as a 2-year-old, but it's a much different game at 3 going 2 turns on the dirt. And then, of course, to do everything that he did in the Derby and the Preakness on off tracks, and then just, you know, slam the door in the Belmont. And then, you know, it's really, like you said, we will never see it again.
Never happen again.
It's a tremendous accomplishment. And Bob Baffert, you mentioned surprises. Take nothing away from Chad Brown, very deserving, and the list of horses that he had last year just were awesome. But Bob Baffert, that training job has to be recognized, and it has been. I mean, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Of course.
Yeah, but that was amazing.
I would have voted for Chad just off the numbers, but Baffert gets like the you know, the footnote there because what he was able to accomplish, very well said.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your top pick in the Pegasus Dirt. It's not Accelerate. You've got him, in fact, not in your top 3. I know you're a fan of City Light. We'll show you City of Light's last workout here back on January 19th for trainer Mike McCarthy. I'm a fan of this horse as well. What do you like about him?
Man, I mean, I loved his race in the Oaklawn Handicap over Accelerate. Now, granted, that was a year ago. He's just been a horse that they sort of found his niche. I mean, I think with the 1-turn extended long sprint, slash mile. Obviously, he won the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile last year. Very authoritative. I mean, I thought one of the best performances of the weekend. You know, and he's speed. I mean, it's hard to beat sort of controlling speed like that. This is a loaded race. I mean, looking at the race, it's a very difficult race to look at. It's almost probably better than the Breeders' Cup Classic. So,
yeah, I would have with the Dirt Mile winner, who is, he wins the race in the visually impressive department for me the entire Breeders' Cup weekend, and him knocking heads against the Classic winner. I mean, this is what this race was established for, to settle this stuff on the racetrack and to do it in late January. You don't have Accelerate in your top 3. We were talking about the race. What's your biggest negative or knock on him?
I don't, you know, maybe I'm overthinking it a little bit. I'm trying to maybe catch a price, and I don't know if he's like, it's like a wise guy pick maybe to throw him out. Hard to knock the horse. I mean, he's maybe a little more effective at a mile and a quarter, or that long extended, you know, run that he can make for, you know, 3/8 of a mile, half-mile type run. Maybe he just doesn't get there in a race like this. And the head-to-head with City of Light. That's why I kind of went with him over him. And then just shopping around for a little bit of a value in the spots underneath.
And you had some good prices as well. We talked about, Tom and I, his Pegasus strategy and the turf, that is. And although you didn't pick Accelerate over City of Light per se, you do like Catapult. We'll refresh everybody with this horse's dazzling win at 21-1 in the Eddie Reed last summer at Del Mar. This horse was good with Chad Brown. Must be something in the water out west, or with John Sadler, because this is a different Catapult than I remember on the East Coast.
Yeah, just a huge race in the Breeders' Cup Mile last year to Expert Eye, who was a very, very good horse. He was one of the horses that I really liked on the day down there at the Breeders' Cup. So maybe I'm kind of like, oh, well, I liked Expert Eye, and this horse was a half length behind him in the Breeders' Cup Mile.
But still,
his
resume is solid, man.
Yeah, and this is a solid race. I mean, he's going to go a little further than he's ever really run before. I like the rider switch a little bit. Nothing against Drayden Van Dyke, but Joel Rosario, certainly can't go wrong with him. He and Sadler kind of clicking, you know, doing really well. But at the same time, I guess I took a stand against Accelerate. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if Sadler were to win both of the races. I mean, to be honest with you. But, you know, this is a loaded race as well. I mean, very, very great addition to the card, for sure.
Great day. You've got Stormy Liberal, who's a turf champion, a turf sprinting horse who's now 2018's turf champion in the undercard in the GP Turf Sprint against World of Trouble. Going to be a great day, and I know you're going to enjoy every second of it.
I can't wait I'll be firing. I'm looking forward to it.
I know that. I'm in for 10%, all right?
All right, great.
All right, that's Tom Law, managing editor of the Saratoga Special, and this is Horse Racing. You can find him both websites, too, up and running and everything cool?
You know it. This is horseracing.com. You can find all our information on there. We'll have probably some picks, some analysis from the Clancy brothers and myself for Saturday, and we'll be ready to roll.
All right, glad you made it down, bud. Always good seeing
Jason.
you.
Good to see you.
All right, sounds good. Frankie Dettori, Acacia, Courtney, the Pegasus interview when we come back after this.
It's the one and only Eagle Double G. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg. Da 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 da. You know I'm mobbing with the D.O.E.
Welcome back, everybody. We're wrapping things up here on this morning preview, and I'm thrilled to be joined by legendary jockey, my friend Frankie Dettori. Frankie, welcome to Florida. How's it going?
Thank you, Acacia. Hello, everyone. I made it. I'm back.
He is back. Now, you've been in the Pegasus before.
Yes.
We're thrilled to have you back here this year. What do you think about this event in general? How have you seen the response to it?
Well, it's obviously it's a brand new theory. It's only the 4th year, I think, this year. I mean, some great horses won it. The first, you know, obviously Arrogate, and last year Gonna Runner. Yeah. You know, he's the richest race in America, and he attracts a lot of interest. And on my point of view as well, that I'm actually riding an unbeaten horse from Mexico, so that's very exciting. And
yeah,
great.
You have Kukulkan from Mexico, and then you have in the turf Delta Prince for Jimmy Jerkins. Just tell me a little bit. I know you went to visit them this morning, get a little bit of a feel.
Well, I came yesterday. Obviously, I've been in contact with both trainers, been looking at videos. Delta Prince, he seems a very tough, consistent horse. He can run on the dirt, on the grass. it looks quite open race. So I'm hoping he's going to run a big race. And then Kukulkan, again, he looks great. I met the Mexican connections. They are very bullish. It's their baby.
Yeah.
I got all of South America behind me.
Oh, yeah.
The good thing about it is he's raced here, so we know that he likes the track, he likes the surface. Now, we don't really know how good he is compared to the American horses, but this is the challenge. So I'm mega excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, did you see the video when he won here,
Yeah.
like how all of Mexico was so excited in the winner's circle?
Yes.
That's got to feel good for you.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, like all the lucky charms and everything was given this morning, so I'm
very
sure
good.
that we got to have plenty of support.
Oh, nice, nice. Well, this was definitely very exciting on Classico Day when you won here. And you're no stranger to big events. We've seen you many times for the Breeders' Cup here in America as well. What is it like being part of these big race days and getting to travel and meet new connections like that?
Look, it's amazing that you know, we managed to raise for such a huge money and to attract, you know, the best also we can gather. So to be part of it is amazing, and you know, now for me, not just being part of it, is try to do good. So I'm very excited, and you know, tomorrow is going to be an amazing day.
What kind of prep do you do riding at so many different tracks, and especially, you know, Gulfstream, you've ridden here before, of course, the Milan and 8th, we've talked about that short run into the first turn. So what kind of prep do you do leading up to the race?
Well, like any other big race, obviously you go through the form, but at the end of the day, you have to ride your own horse. Try to put your horse in a position where the horse feels comfortable. Try to not taking him out of his comfort zone, basically, and you know, you gotta in big races you have to improvise as well. You can't have a set plan because so many things can go completely the opposite way.
What is that like in the middle of the race where you have to make that split-second decision?
I think when you do it for so long, it becomes quite natural. But yeah, I mean, you have to you have to have 10 different plans. But not just in horse racing, in any sport, in any big stage. You know, if you can make a difference, then you got to take the opportunity when it comes.
Obviously, the Pegasus World Cup, a couple of huge races this weekend, and like I said, you're no stranger to riding the big races. You're also no stranger to winning them. Let's talk a little bit about the Breeders' Cup, of course, and Enable. I mean, what is that feeling like when you come down to the wire in such a big event?
I must say, the worst bit is leading up to it. You know, it's pretty nerve-wracking because, you know, it means so much, and you care about the horse, and a lot of preparation goes into it, and then you know, come race day, obviously you get into the zone, but it's an amazing thrill for us. When I talk about us, as Europeans, to win a Breeders' Cup, because you know we have to fly across, and it's got that Ryder Cup kind of feel. It's basically Europe versus America, so. It's double more exciting for us when we win. Maybe it's not so for the Americans, but yeah, it's special. The Breeders' Cup is special. I mean, it's stood the test of times, 35 years, and I'm sure it will be a great event for many years to come.
Now, you are a European coming and riding here in America on a Mexican horse in the Pegasus. So what does that feel? What is that competition like?
Well, you know, obviously being Italian, I feel a little bit Latin, and so I've
a little bit of the flair.
Yeah, correct, the Latin connection. So, and Fausto, the trainer, is originally from Italy. His parents. So, so we got a little bit of connection. And but you know, it's ultra exciting to have a horse like this one. You know, he has proven a superstar in South America, and he's taking on the American best. Yeah. And you know, I'm really excited, and I hope we can do well.
Now, what would it mean for somebody like you, who's won so many fantastic big races, to add the Pegasus to your resume?
Amazing, and you know, when the connections got in touch with me, and you know, they told me, look, you know, we don't know what's going to happen. It could be a long shot, but you know, this is what challenges are all about. You know, and I guess in this stage of my career, I need things, something like that to spur me on and to get the best out of me. So, like I said, I'm super excited.
Now, we've gotten a chance to see the Flying Dismount here at Gulfstream before. I believe you won a race here last year leading up to the Pegasus.
If I win tomorrow, I'll do 2.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we have 2 opportunities. We'll get 2 Flying Dismounts. So, Frankie, we know you're so busy, but thank you so much for coming on with us today. That is, of course, legendary jockey Frankie Dettori. We're thrilled to have him here with us for the Pegasus World Cup. We're just 1 day away, January 26th. First post time will be 11:30 a.m. We'll see you then, everybody.